in?
A lot of old faces and new faces on this pitching staff. So what's it been like working with each and every one of them, and what do they all sort of bring to the table?
Yeah, so I've enjoyed getting to know them, each and every one of them. A big thing for me as a catcher is to learn how they pitch, but also their personality, like what they need on the mound, if I need to call time and talk to them, but also just learning where they're apt to miss a pitch or just how their windup is, so I can better receive for them in the game and get more strikes called too.
Sam?
You're a sophomore now, and what do you think where you've personally improved the most from your freshman season to now?
Yeah, so I have gotten a lot of comfort in the fact that I know what to expect now, and just with all of that, my preparation, what I should and shouldn't do before a game, and just all that routine that I have, because I'm very strict on being organized and having a routine before games, and also the intimidation factor too, like being a freshman and starting in the SEC like now, I kind of know what to expect and know how to prepare for that better too.
Braylon kind of mentioned the fact that you were kind of welcoming to her when she transferred over here, and she was maybe afraid sometimes to ask you guys to catch for her and practice with her. How have you been able to kind of build a relationship with her, and how has it been working with her so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I've enjoyed getting to meet her and for her to be my teammate and coming from LSU. And that was also kind of intimidating too, having a teammate coming from another SEC school and still being really young, even though I'm a sophomore. I'm still 19. But I just made sure to reach out to her at first and say like, hey, if you ever need somebody to catch even before practice starts, before our actual season started with practice, I'd be more than willing to. And also if you need somebody to hit off of you as well or just stand in, I can do that. And just with her whole experience happening, I was just making sure to be supportive with her, and just I know that's what I would want when I was a freshman too. So I just made sure to do that.
Good.
First weekend, you're going to be facing pitchers like Nigel Kennedy, Jordy Ball, Bridget Namath. So, what's the level of excitement going into that weekend against some of the best, and how's it going to prepare you for week after week of stuff like that in the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way to start off the season, just with somebody like Nija and Jordy Ball and that Penn State pitcher. It's going to help us, I think, just start off the season on a strong note, especially with how strong their teams and their pitchers are. And I know that our preparation has been awesome. We do stuff every day to prepare for it, and it's going to be awesome to just go to Clearwater, start off and figure out our kind of identity as a team with them too, and just have fun and compete. So,
just talk about some of the improvements you've made from last year to this.
Yeah, a big thing for me was just being more dynamic and having more tools in my toolbox to turn to based on the different teams that we're playing, and being able to just be a little bit more flexible with my plan for each game.
Dylan?
Josie, Coach kind of mentioned that you've stepped up as a leader, obviously with Aspen and Monta gone and graduated. Just talk about what it's been like kind of meshing with that bullpen group, but also stepping up as a leader and being more vocal with the team.
I've had a lot of conversations with Ricketts and Coach T both, and then also leaning on Mata and Aspen too. Just I'm a more reserved person, and I've always been one that's comfortable leading by example, and like doing the right things and just kind of hoping other people follow along. But this year, a big focus for me has been using my voice and being vocal, and that's been, it's been very out of my comfort zone at times, but I think I've grown a lot in that department, and it's also helped with the dynamic of the bullpen and helping the transfers and the freshmen get comfortable and get to know each other and get that family atmosphere in the bullpen too.
And last year, I know you weren't completely healthy for a lot of the off seasons. So, how have things been, better, different, preparing for this season? Knowing that you've been injury free as far as I know.
Yeah. Just a lot of work in the off season. This team as a whole is very focused, very driven, and we've gotten a lot of good work in the fall, and then this January really locking in every practice, every workout, every fall game or live at bat, any way we can to prepare for this season and kind of replicate game-like situations as much as we can.
Sam?
We've heard a few times already today about the start of the season with the schedule and the teams you're facing in the challenge, and they're kind of saying that it'll probably be the two best pitchers you'll maybe face all season. And I don't know if you personally ever scout the opposing pitchers, but just to have that kind of challenge, right at the start of the season, what do you think that would just mean for this team?
It's a great opportunity. I mean, opening weekend right out of the gate to see where we fall and what we're doing well and what we still need to improve on will be crucial, especially getting closer to conference play. And our conference schedule is tough, and we like it that way. But getting to get those opportunities first weekend out, I think will be really helpful.
Anything else for Josie? Dylan?
And Rayla just mentioned to us just working with Coach T and how that's kind of been. Obviously, you've had the chance to work with her the last couple of years. What have you how's your relationship with her, and how does she kind of help you guys get better?
I love Coach T. She's just a calming presence in the bullpen, and especially pitching, a huge part of it is mental, and there's certain pressures that come along with pitching that Coach T understands, and she's been there, and she's, after bad inning, bad game, anything, she's even keeled all the time, keeps her calm, keeps us calm, and is also extremely competitive and has a passion for pitching and for softball and for winning that kind of just bleeds into the rest of the bullpen and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Which of the youngsters have really impressed you so far this year, whether it's the pitchers who you've watched in the bullpen or the hitters who you've had to throw to in BP?
Morgan Stiles. She is a very tough out, and I joke about it after every single scrimmage that we do. She just attacks and plays so fearlessly, and she's going to be huge for us this season, and I'm really excited to see what she does, and just the freshman class as a whole. I mean, they're all so mature and all play, without fear, and they're going all out every play, max effort all the time. So I'm really excited to see how that freshman class as a whole does this year.
Well, so you just transferred in this season. I guess just what's it been like adjusting and getting to know Mississippi State?
Yeah, it's completely different than what I was used to in Baton Rouge, but it's all for the best. I love the family environment, like just in the city, but not also like with the team and the staff. It's just been really, really great.
Just talk a little bit about the support you've received from your teammates and coaching staff and everyone around the program as you were going through your cancer treatments. I'm sure that was just a huge shock and a huge setback for you, but how did everyone make sure you were able to have everything you needed?
Yeah, no, I mean, our staff is incredible. I mean, I never felt an ounce of not being supported. I was supported all the way through. I got calls and texts every day back home, which I was not expecting because I was still fairly new here. But yeah, it was incredible. I couldn't ask for any better, and that just shows how good the staff is here.
Danny?
Just talk about coming in and maybe the mixing in with this pitching staff. As Josie's already been here and established, and a couple others. Just talk about mixing in there. What kind of staff do you think y'all have this year?
I think we have a staff who's going to work really hard. I mean, we have Josie, who is just incredible. She did some really great work last year. You also have Delaney, who, threw a lot towards the end, and she will give you a lot of good innings. She throws gas, and she's a competitor. So that's just, kudos to her. And then you have Lexi, who is just full of experience. I think it's her 6th year playing ball. So she just, she knows the ways around, and she's really, really helpful from pitching to defense to just, getting used to being around here. But yeah, I think we're going to give a lot of good innings. I think Coach T has done a great job with all of us. I know for me, she hasn't tried to make me something I'm not. She has just tried to perfect what I'm good at and what I already have. So I think that's just a really nice breath of fresh air for me coming in, not being completely changed in 1 year, just getting to kind of perfect what I already have.
Sam?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the coaching staff. What's it just been like working with Coach Ricketts and the rest of the assistants as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's been completely different from what I'm used to in the best way possible. I mean, I have fun at practice. I really enjoy coming. Working with Ricketts, I mean, I'm not with her as much as I am with Coach T, but I mean, like I said, I just have fun. Coach T is just so much fun to work with in the bullpen. It's never, stressful. It's always a working environment. But I think we can have a lot of communication back and forth. It's not her way or the highway, which I really love about her. Any question I have or any idea I have, she's willing to work or meet me halfway with, which I really, really like about her.
And you mentioned kind of working with the bullpen and then kind of meshing with them and forming some chemistry, but how's it been kind of throwing to Ella and Jesse and what they kind of bring to the table behind the plate?
No, they're incredible. I remember my first week when I came here, I was, super nervous to ask people to catch me or whatever, but Ella always told me, please call me. I want to catch so bad. I love to catch. I love the game. Please, please call me. So ever since then, I think me and her established that relationship, but Jesse is also incredible. I mean, they're the two catchers, and we even have Paige who catches too, and they are always willing to come catch. They won't give you grief. They just love what they do, and they love this team, and it really just shows in how good they are.
Which of the freshmen have really impressed you so far in the fall and in practice so far? And that could be the pitchers or some of the hitters you've had to throw to in BP.
I mean, honestly, my understanding is all of them have. I mean, their work ethic is insane. I think the whole team, honestly, just from weights to practice, but the freshmen really stepped up. It's hard as a freshman to get out here and ask for extra work, ask to go do extra weights, but they've all really stepped up. I mean, you have Morgan and Z at second and working at shortstop too, just incredible. You have Sarah and Abigail, who I work with in the bullpen all the time. You have Lonnie in the outfield, and then Paige, behind the plate, and even working in at third. And they just work so hard. They're so talented, and it's been really, really cool to mesh with them.
Danny?
Sarah, just talk about springboarding off the year you had last year, coming into this year, and the improvements you like to see in your game, and just where you are.
So I'm actually not going to do the slapping anymore, so I'm just going to stand in and hit and hopefully increase my power numbers and be able to get more RBIs and more doubles and all that good stuff. So looking to expand on that side of the game, the power side. So
yeah, Coach Ricketts was just talking about that sort of change in your approach. What kind of went behind that and mentally your mindset just in terms of making that decision to go away from the slapping and focusing on more power?
Well, I think slapping only works so well at this level. I think the more you hit ground balls and the more you hit to the shortstop, the more outs you make. So instead of me betting on the shortstop to make a bad decision or trying to hit it just past one player, I want to work on hitting it past all 8 players. So that's kind of my thought process, to give myself and my team a better chance of not only scoring, but me getting on base and then me getting runs in too.
Dylan?
And for you specifically being a leader for this team and specifically that outfield group, what's been kind of the message to them here in the offseason preparing for obviously first couple of weeks of great competitors coming up?
Right, well, we lost our 2 starters, so left and right was Paige Cook and Briley, so it's kind of having a gap to fill. So everybody knows that coming in, I'm we're going to need somebody to step up. And we have a lot of new faces. We have 8 freshmen coming in, and it really can be a combination of any of them or our 2 juniors that we have, which is Morgan and Key. So I think it's about the mindset of having nothing to lose and playing every practice like it is a game. So I think I'm trying to instill that confidence in them, coming from someone who did play last year. So just trying to have that confidence and playing every practice like it's a game, trying to get that experience while you're in practice and not waiting until game 1. So.
Sam?
What's it just been like going against this pitching staff, and what's just kind of your outlook on the group going into the season?
Well, it's definitely been tough. The first time we ever faced Raylan and Josie, even though I've been here last year, still facing them with their improvements that they've made over this off season and stuff. It's just tough the first few weeks, but now that we faced them 10, 11 times, you kind of know what they throw, but it's still difficult at the same time because they are really good. So I think it's about knowing what they have and then going up there with the plan.
Coach Ricketts said you're hoping to go into coaching after your career is over. What kind of planted that seed in your mind, and have you sort of been picking the coaching staff's brain to
Yeah.
learn about what it's like?
I mean, I think I've always had a love for softball, and I never want to go away from the game. And like, I give lessons here now, so it's like being able to see a girl like, something click in their brain and their hit goes, to the back of the net when it's used to like going 3 feet, and then like seeing it on their face of like them learning things like just brings me joy, knowing that like, because when I was younger I didn't really have the opportunity to get lessons, so like now that I'm giving that to someone else, kind of like, I don't know, it fills a little hole in my heart, so yeah.
Playing a tough schedule right out of the gate with that tournament. Of course, you play in the SEC as well. How valuable do you think that is for your team to continue to develop and succeed going forward?
Well, I definitely think we're going to face the 2 toughest arms we will all season. So just getting that out the gate is going to be tough. But I think it's going to prepare us for, it can't get worse than that, pretty much. So I think it'll set us up, especially in SEC play, because we're going to face a lot of good arms. So getting that experience right out the gate, game 1, game 2, will be very beneficial for us down the road.
Anything else for Sierra? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.